Are you ready, kids? Hello, my name is Andrew John Mitchell, Artistic Director here at the Milburn Stone Theatre, and I'd like to personally welcome you to Curtain Call. Today we're speaking to the cast of our October 2022 production of the SpongeBob Musical. We've got 6 great interviews lined up, and I don't want to waste another second, so curtain up! Our first interview is with Mr. Dale Fleetwood. Dale, now you are no stranger to the Milburn Stone Theatre stage, are you?
I am not, Andrew. You know that. I've been in many of your productions.
Excellent. Can you tell us a few of those productions?
Just finished up Mamma Mia in June. Started out here in 2017 with Singing in the Rain and followed up with Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, many after that.
Excellent. So in SpongeBob, you're playing Squidward. What has this role been like for you? Tackling this role, what has it been like playing this role that was originally created for a cartoon? What's it like bringing that alive on stage?
I'm a character actor, so I love bringing a character to life, and what I've been trying to do with this role is honor Gavin Lee from the Broadway production, and also the voice with Roger Bumpus from the show, but also throwing a little bit of my own flair into it as well, because obviously those are the only guys that do it, and you're not going to ever live up to that. So I'm trying to bring in my own a little bit of my own personality and just my own flair to it.
Excellent. Now, you did mention Roger. So how familiar were you with the SpongeBob TV show before you auditioned for this role?
I was pretty familiar with it because my son was born in 1999, so those years were prime SpongeBob years. Grew up watching it with him, very familiar with it.
Excellent. So, this show is filled with bold, beautiful, and eclectic songs all throughout it. Do you have a favorite song in the show to sing, or maybe just to listen to off stage?
As much as I'd like to say my song, I'm Not a Loser, is my favorite, I think Simple Sponge is probably my favorite song.
So in the musical, we sing about the best day ever. Can you describe the best day ever for you?
Much like Squidward, I'm kind of a loner myself, so my best day would be being alone in my garden on a nice sunny hot day, and then going in at night watching a movie by myself.
Excellent. So, between the choreography, music, and blocking, there's a lot of moving parts in this show. What's been your favorite part of the rehearsal process so far?
Favorite part so far has, believe it or not, been choreography. It's been very challenging for this one because I do have to tap in my number, and I'll have to tap with some extra legs attached to the back of me. But luckily, our wonderful choreographer, Devin Johnson, is one of the best friends in the world, and she is being very patient with me and showing me things on the side to help out, and hopefully we'll be able to amaze some folks that come in to see the show.
Awesome. Okay, so this is a really fun book. There's a lot of great lines, a lot of funny moments. Do you have a favorite moment in the show that you'd like to share with our audience?
My favorite moment is actually at the beginning when the characters are introduced, because they are kind of introduced individually. So I'm just waiting for that moment when I come out from behind my Easter Island rock, just to hear the audience's reaction.
Excellent. So we're going to play a quick game of word association. I'm just going to list a couple words, and I want your first response to all of these. All right, SpongeBob.
Patrick.
Patrick.
SpongeBob.
Sandy.
It's got to be SpongeBob.
Plankton.
Plankton would be Karen.
Okay, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs would be Krusty Burger.
Krabby Patty.
Krabby Patty.
No, that's the next word. That's the next word. Krabby Patty.
Krabby Patty. Krusty Burger's The Simpsons.
There you go. Bikini Bottom.
Bikini Bottom. What's the band's name again?
Electric Skates.
The Electric Skates. Yeah, those guys.
Karen the Computer.
Plankton.
Pearl Krabs.
The Electric Skates.
There you go. And finally, Squidward.
See, that's a trick question. Squidward has nobody. He's all alone.
All right. So lastly, why should audiences come and see the SpongeBob Musical?
Well, like we've talked about, this is such a big, beautiful, colorful show. It's going to be great for all ages. Children, obviously, but even parents, grandparents are going to love it just because it's fun to watch. the humor in it, some of it's going to go right over kids' heads, but it's so witty that it's going to be for all ages.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dale.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'm a pretty squid, Mama, and I'm going to show him what I've got. Hit it. And look out.
Hey, Squidward, guess what?
Here
You don't
I
have
come.
to leave Bikini Bottom after all.
Now I'm with Silas Taylor. Silas, you are no stranger to this stage as well, are you?
I'm not, no. I used to do shows here as a kid, as you know. So yeah, my first show was Oliver, I believe. I think I was 10.
Wow.
And I'm 25 now. I haven't been doing it the whole time though, but yeah.
Excellent. So, in the SpongeBob musical, you are playing Plankton.
Yes.
So, what's it like playing Plankton, and what's it like embodying a character that was normally portrayed as a cartoon?
It's a lot of fun, mostly just because I like to be big. Like, if I were to pick a favorite actor, it might be Jack Black or something. I love the ridiculousness. I love making it big. And it's a cartoon, so I get to do that. I don't have to try and be a real person. So yeah.
So speaking of cartoons, how familiar were you with the SpongeBob animated show before you auditioned?
Oh, so familiar. It was like my personality was SpongeBob. Like my whole humor, I think, was like, I think that show formulated my sense of humor.
Excellent.
Probably, yeah.
So the songs in the show are bold, beautiful, eclectic, and bright. Do you have a favorite song in the show you like to sing, or is there one you like to listen to backstage?
No Control, for sure. Written by David Bowie, and it's just so Bowie. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So in the musical, we sing about the best day ever. What is the best day ever for Silas? What would that entail?
I think I just might have had it recently, actually. Yeah, I woke up with my lady. We had some breakfast, went to the Met, walked around Central Park. It was, yeah, you can't ask for any more than that.
No, awesome, excellent. Okay, so between the choreography and the show, the music and the blocking, there's a lot of moving parts in the show. It's not a small show. So what's been your favorite part of the rehearsal process so far?
Probably doing the music, because a lot of the times I feel like I can get tripped up on that, and we jumped right in, right at the beginning. So I'm feeling pretty confident on that, and I also just love singing, so.
Awesome. Yeah. So the book is a ton of fun. There's a lot of great lines, there's a lot of great moments. Do you have a favorite line in the show?
Yes, but I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it.
Spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers,
All right.
come on.
How about this? Without spoiling it, do you have then a favorite moment in the show?
I don't think I do, honestly. Yeah, I don't think I do. I think I just love everything.
Oh, so it's all even.
Yeah, all even.
All right, excellent. So now we're gonna play a little bit of word association. So just
Okay.
tell me the first thing that comes to mind when I say these next following words.
Okay.
All right, SpongeBob.
Yellow. Okay.
Patrick.
Pink.
Nice. Bikini Bottom.
Fun.
Sandy.
Smart.
Karen.
My wife.
Squidward.
Pessimist.
Mr. Krabs.
Money.
Patchy the Pirate.
Arr.
The Mayor.
Mayor. Can you do the same one?
You
I
could.
don't know.
Larry the Lobster.
Buff.
Buff. Pearl Crabs.
Boom.
And finally, Plankton.
Evil.
Excellent. So, okay, last question, but the most important question. Why should audiences come out to see the SpongeBob musical?
Because it's just so fun. I feel like with a lot of theater, if you're not familiar with theater and you go and see a show, it's really easy to kind of lean out and not really understand what's going on. But for this show, I think anyone can enjoy it. If you don't like theater, if you've never been to a show before, it's just so much fun. Like, yeah.
Excellent. Hey, Silas, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm as serious as a guacamole shortage and a taco cartel! I determine the timeline through analysis of seismic activity, gas emissions, geomagnetic, and gravimetric changes. Over the next 36 hours, tremors will increase and boulders will fall, eventually leading to a cataclysmic eruption, which will completely destroy Bikini Bottom!
Now I am with Ariana Clark. Ariana Clark, you are absolutely no stranger to the stage. Please let us know a couple of the shows that you've done here at Milburn Stone.
I've done Hairspray as Little Inez, and I also did Frozen Junior as Elsa.
There we go, and this is number 3. And speaking of number 3, in the SpongeBob Musical, you are playing Sandy Cheeks. What's it like preparing for the role of Sandy Cheeks? What's it like playing a cartoon character come to life?
Preparing for Sandy, it's definitely a challenge because she's so out there, and 2, her vocabulary is insane. Gravimetric, geomagnetic, subterranean magma chambers, it all. So learning the lines for this is definitely a challenge, but it's also really fun, talking a little country Texas accent. So, but playing as a cartoon character, it definitely pushes me out more because I'm so used to being, okay, this is a human character, I can do this, no problem, but it really gets the theatrical side out, so.
Excellent. So how familiar were you with the cartoon version of SpongeBob before you auditioned for the show?
Very familiar. I've watched it my whole life.
All right, excellent. So we're an avid fan.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this score is written by some of the biggest names in pop and country and rock music all throughout it. Do you have a favorite song in the show, or maybe either one you sing or one that you just watch off stage? Or?
I love Super Sea-Star Savior and Simple Sponge. I can't pick, those 2 are just my favorite. Awesome. I love them so much.
So in the musical, we sing about the best day ever. What is Ariana's best day ever?
It would have to be with family. Just a day with family. It doesn't necessarily have to be like going out or anything. Just being around family is fun for me, so.
Excellent. All right. So between the choreography, the music, and the blocking in the show, it's a big show. There's lots of moving parts. Do you have a favorite part of the process so far that you've experienced?
I like the blocking part of it because it's like we're putting the songs and the dances and we're all putting it together to see like how it's gonna look for us, just without all the sets and all that, just pushing through the show. I like that part.
So the book is a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun lines in the show. Do you have a fun line in the show that you'd like to share with us that maybe is not super spoiler?
At least I don't live in a pineapple.
There we go. All right. I love it.
Oh, in a fruit, yeah.
In a fruit. Do you have a favorite moment in the show also as well to go with it?
I would have to say my favorite moment is when Squidward gets his special moment. Like he really, like we see Squidward, he's so miserable and just hates everything, but like he's really joyous and it's like, oh, like this, he can have fun, like, yeah.
Awesome. So now we're gonna play a quick game of word association. Just let me know the first thing that comes to mind when I say the following words.
Okay.
All right. Patrick.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Pineapple.
Okay. Krusty Krab.
Pizza.
All right. Mr. Krabs.
Money.
Pearl Krabs.
Dramatic.
Bikini Bottom.
Bikini line.
Electric Skates.
A Bikini Bottom Boogie.
There we go. Larry the Lobster.
Claws.
Finally, Sandy Cheeks.
Texas.
All right. Why should audiences come see the SpongeBob Musical?
Because it's a show for everyone. You know, you can bring your kids, you can come by yourself if you're an adult, you can bring your parents if you want to. Like, it's a show for everyone, and it's so interactive, and I think that a lot of people would really enjoy that. So.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ariana.
Hero is our middle name.
That's nice voice for mine, Jennifer. And no one believes my science is real.
Now I am with Elizabeth Hamill. Elizabeth, may I call you Liz?
Sure.
Excellent. Liz, so you are no stranger to the Milburn Stone Theatre. Tell our audience where they might have seen you, certainly last, but also before.
Well, the most recent production was Fun Home. Before that, it was The Who's Tommy. And then before that, it was Chicago, right before the shutdown. And then before that, it was American Psycho. And now I spend some time working in the box office.
Excellent. So in the SpongeBob Musical, you are playing Karen the Computer.
I am.
So what's it like portraying Karen the Computer, and what's it like portraying a character that was originally created as a cartoon character?
It's incredibly difficult because she was a screen. You know, she had no discernible personality or features besides So it's kind of fun to find my own twist within that, but it's so hard because I have no reference to go off of. So I think the hardest part has been finding like who she is as a breathing thing. So.
Excellent. How familiar were you with SpongeBob before you auditioned?
I mean, I was raised on it. This was the Monday morning cartoon. It was my birthday cake in probably like my 3rd birthday was a sheet cake that my mom decorated to look like SpongeBob. So I mean, it's always been around.
Excellent. So the score for this show is incredible. There's a lot of great songs written by some of the biggest names in pop, rock, country. Do you have a favorite song on the show that you like to sing, or also maybe just enjoy off stage?
It's probably the smallest song in the show, but it's Bikini Tevka.
Okay.
It's so like Fiddler on the Roof, obviously, is what it's referring. And it's so beautiful and like airy to sing. I love it. But it's like 3 lines.
Okay, so Liz, in the show, speaking of songs, we sing about the best day ever. What is Liz's best day ever?
It would probably be a day like today where it's like 75, where I can sit in a park and read. And then maybe get some ice cream, cotton candy, obviously. And then maybe go to a rehearsal with my best friends and yeah.
Awesome.
Watch Bar Rescue with my partner. That would cap off everything nicely.
Okay, so in this show, it's a big show. There's a lot of things happening in the show. There's a lot of big choreography. There's a lot of fun blocking. There's incredible songs. Do you have a favorite part in the rehearsal process so far? What has the rehearsal process been like for you?
It's been surprisingly low stress because Karen is one of the minor principals, so I certainly don't have as many lines as, say, SpongeBob. So it's been nice to kind of sit back and find my own process on the side, but watch other people's processes and like watch these people embody these characters that we've all grown up with and watched. And it's rewarding, and it can be stressful at times because we're such a high energy bunch. So it's like, okay, let's reel it in. But we're gonna put a product out there that I know we're all so incredibly proud of.
Excellent. So the book. The book is fun, it's high energy, there's a lot of great moments in it. Do you have a favorite line, without giving too many spoilers, in the show?
I really like, and I think it's specifically made by Silas's delivery, but I really like when he asks Karen to call him Big Guy because it sounds like a bigger name, like
Yes.
a more important man. It's so hard for me to keep my composure because it's like a genuine ask. Like, I want to be a big guy.
All right, big question, most important question of the entire interview. Why should audiences come out to see the SpongeBob Musical?
I think it's such a fun ride. It's definitely like a lesson for the younger audience of like, get together, save the town. But there's so many innuendos for the parents and just references to, our age group that grew up with this cartoon. And it's just like, when I first heard of the show, I was like, this sounds silly. But you fall in love with it, and I want audiences to come with a perception of like, this is gonna be goofy, and then they just leave with like this nostalgia that they can find in this show.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Liz.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good morning, world, and all who inhabit it. Jump out of bed, mix up a breakfast for my favorite pet snail. Full steam ahead, as I am ready is about to set sail.
Now I'm with Mr. Patrick Collins, who's playing the role of SpongeBob. Pat, can I call you Pat?
Sure.
Excellent. Pat, this is not your first time on the stage.
It is not.
Can you tell us the last time you were on the stage and maybe other roles you've done in the past as well?
Certainly. The last show I was in was Fun Home in April, playing a track of many characters. Also appeared in The Who's Tommy, and before that, American Psycho.
Excellent. So, Pat, you are playing SpongeBob. What's it like playing SpongeBob? And also, what's it like embodying that character specifically? What's it like bringing that cartoon character to life?
It is a task. It's very fun. It's also very challenging. There's a lot of SpongeBob that is human, but there's a lot of SpongeBob that is almost superhuman in that he stretches and moves in different ways. So it's bringing a character that is so iconic that people love from a cartoon to a human that can be challenging, but it's very rewarding to see all of the changes that can be done as an actor. It's a big challenge, but it's very fun to know, like, I can move in this way, I can change my voice in this way to hopefully pay some homage to the original character.
Speaking of the original character, how familiar were you with SpongeBob, the show, before you auditioned for SpongeBob the Musical?
Very much. It was, as a kid, it was like what The Office is now to so many people, where it just plays in the background and you know every episode. You could turn on any episode of SpongeBob and I could probably walk you through the plot and tell you most of the lines at this point. And they're just characters that have lived, for me, my whole life. Being 25, I've grown up with SpongeBob. And even people my age now still have that sense of humor and still love the shows so much. So to take something that is so nostalgic and loved for me as a child and to bring that to audiences of all ages, but also people my age, is very humbling.
The score for this show is incredible. There's so many songs written by some of the biggest pop, rock, country artists out there. Do you have a favorite song on the show to sing? Do you have a favorite song on the show, period? Maybe one that you just watch all from off stage?
Certainly. Well, I sing in a good many of them. I love singing Just a Simple Sponge. Panic at the Disco knocked it out of the park on that one. It's a considerable challenge, but I really love singing that. I was raised in classic rock, so I love Aerosmith. So Bikini Bottom Boogie is one that I'm off stage for, and one that I love to watch happen.
Excellent. So there's a lot of moving parts in this show. It's not a small show by any stretch of the imagination. Lots of choreography, lots of music to learn, lots of blocking to learn. Do you have a favorite moment from the rehearsal process so far that you'd like to share with us?
I think my favorite moment in general has been the laughs that this cast can have. While many of us take it very seriously, learning our lines and getting the blocking down and putting everything together, I know so many people from different projects that this cast gelled so quickly that we can all laugh and have a good time in between takes and feel free to mess up and try new things, and it can be accepted and fun for each person. That's truly been my favorite.
Excellent. Now, speaking of laughs, it's a pretty funny book. Do you have a favorite line or either that you say or that's said to you in the show?
Sure. So many good ones. I love when SpongeBob himself gets a little confused or circular. My favorite is, I can't wait for another fine day at the finest eating establishment ever established for eating, which is actually the first line of the show after the opening song. So a good way to start off.
Do you have a favorite moment you'd like to share with us, also from the show?
Yeah, I think this show encompasses joy. The end result of all of the plot comes out to joy, and SpongeBob is one of the biggest purveyors of joy within the show. So seeing joy get to each character is very fun. Finally, when it gets to Squidward at the end, the last person who is yet to bring that joy into his life, is a really rewarding moment after a long show.
All right, I do need to know from you, why should audiences come and see the SpongeBob Musical? It is the most important question.
Yeah, audiences should come see the SpongeBob Musical because it is truly a show for everyone. Kids can enjoy the production, the fun, the color. People my age can enjoy the nostalgia. People who are older can enjoy some of the jokes that might go over the younger kids' heads. It's a very timely show. A lot of underhanded themes of isolation or mistrust of the government or the press. It's actually very funny to see how much this show relates to modern times. And so to see that all through an underwater lens is very fun, and I think brings a lot of joy and hope to each of those tough challenges.
Excellent. Pat, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Patrick.
Is it morning already?
Yep, and I'm singing an opening number.
Ooh, I reverse.
Finally, I have Mr. Steven Salta with me. Steven, this is not your first show at MST, is it?
It is not.
What other shows have you done at MST?
So my very first show I ever did here was Garfield the Musical. It was a cute little 1 hour long show. I was the music director, but I was on stage. I was the piano player with little cat ears. It was a very cute little show. And then the next show I was in, I was on stage for also. I was in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. I was playing Gus, who is the Blonde's boyfriend. And then I music directed a couple shows here as well. I've done Anything Goes and A Gentleman's Guide for Love and Murder. And then most recently, last summer, I was in Daddy Longlegs playing Jervis. I thought Jerusha, but that was, that was my opposite character. So yes, Jervis Pendleton. Yeah.
And now you're back on stage as Patrick Star in the SpongeBob Musical. So what's it like preparing to play a character like Patrick? Certainly there's a lot of fun ways to go about it, but he's a cartoon character originally. What's it like playing a cartoon character on stage?
Well, I will say first off that Patrick is unlike any character I've ever played before. I'm usually playing a character that is well-spoken and at least somewhat intelligent, and that is not the case with Patrick. He speaks very simply, and he's not really very intelligent. He has some good ideas every now and then, but he's just, he's not the smart type. But also, it's interesting playing a cartoon character because you get to play everything like bigger, and so you get to be more animated, which me as an elementary educator, I'm ready to be big and animated, so yeah.
So speaking of cartoons, playing animated, how familiar were you with SpongeBob, the cartoon series, before you auditioned for the show?
I remember when SpongeBob first aired, and I am probably most familiar with like the first 2 seasons, and then I kind of like, I don't want to say I grew out of SpongeBob, because revisiting SpongeBob episodes recently, I'm like, oh, these are classics. So, but yeah, I'm familiar from my childhood with SpongeBob.
So music, education teacher, certainly music is a big part of your life. There's a lot of music in this show. Some of the biggest songwriters in pop, rock, country, you name it, have contributed to the SpongeBob Musical score. Do you have a favorite song in the show that either you like to sing or that you like to sing backstage or watch?
I have 2, and I sing in both of them. And I think I love harmony so much, and I like hearing voices just like really match up well. So I love BFF. It's really fun. The way that Pat and I sing together is just really great. And then Hero is our middle name is a great trio kind of song. It's great.
Awesome. So, this is a big show. There's a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of choreography, a lot of music, a lot of blocking going on. What's been your favorite part of this rehearsal process so far?
I like when things finally like really start to come together. So like music rehearsals, dance rehearsals, blocking rehearsals. But when you start putting it all together on stage, that's when it's really fun. And when you can start putting down your script and just having fun, and you can laugh about the ridiculous things that come up, that is my favorite for sure.
So song-wise, there's a song we sing in the show called Best Day Ever. What is Steven Salto's best day ever?
My best day ever is when I can be out exploring a new place. So a small group of friends, just checking out somewhere new. I love it.
Awesome. So do you have a favorite moment from the show you could share with us? Something, either it's a favorite line or just a favorite gag that happens?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, but SpongeBob and Patrick have some words at one point, and it's fun to play a tense moment every now and then. So I like that the most, I think.
Excellent. All right, this is the most important question out of all of them. Why should audiences come and see the SpongeBob Musical?
Okay, so I think on the outside, you think, oh, SpongeBob, that's just such a kiddie show. It's just gonna be full of fluff stuff. And honestly, I was one of those people until I watched the show, until I read the book, and I was like, wow, there's a lot more to this than just the silly antics. Like there's stuff for kids, the silly antics and the characters that they love, and even for some of us younger adults, the characters that we love. But there are like the innuendos, and there's also some really good little spots of like morals and themes that come in with this show, like friendship, and just there is some good wholesome things going on as well. So I think there's definitely something for everybody in this show.
Awesome, excellent. Thank you, Steven.
Of course.
The SpongeBob Musical runs here at the Milburn Stone Theatre from October 7th to October 16th. Our Friday and Saturday shows are at 8 o'clock, and our Sunday matinees are at 2 o'clock. The show is recommended for ages 8 and up. To purchase tickets or for more information, please visit www.milburnstone.com. Thank you for watching Curtain Call, and we'll see you in the lobby.